Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriyet Nashtu Praheshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavatu Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. So continuing with our discussion on Srimad Bhgavatam, first canto, 16th chapter, how Parikshit received the age of Kali. Text number 3 onwards. आज हाराश्व मेधां स्त्रीन् गंगायां भूरि दक्षिणान् शारद्वतं गुरुं कृत्वा देवा यत्राक्षि गोचरः. Maharaj Parikshit, after having selected Kripacharya for guidance as his spiritual master, performed 3 horse sacrifices on the banks of the Ganges. These were executed with sufficient rewards for the attendants, and at these sacrifices, even the common man could see demigods. Wow, special sacrifices. It appears from this verse that interplanetary travel by the denizens of higher planets is easy. In many statements in Bhagavatam, we have observed that the demigods from heaven used to visit this earth to attend sacrifices performed by influential kings and emperors. Herein also we find that during the time of the horse sacrifice ceremony of Maharaj Parikshit, the demigods from other planets were visible even to the common man due to the sacrificial ceremony. The demigods are not generally visible to common men, as the Lord is not visible, but as the Lord, by his causeless mercy, descends to be visible to the common men. Similarly, the demigods also become visible to the common man by their own grace. Although celestial beings are not visible to the naked eyes of the inhabitants of this earth, it was due to the influence of Maharaj Parikshit that the demigods also agreed to be visible. So the demigods, they are citizens, they're denizens of higher planets. So they have, of course, the body is made of 8 elements only, like we studied in Bhagavad Gita: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. These are made material elements, and anybody who has a material body will be made up of these 8 elements only. There's nothing else. But the permutation combination of these 8 elements will be different in different planets. So the demigods who are from higher planets, or not just demigod, people who are living in those planets, they also have a different composition of these 8 elements. Just like people living in the sun planet. Now, sun god is there. His name is Vivasva. So he has a fiery body. In his body, the fire element is much more than other elements. So because we cannot perceive of that, we cannot see that, our eyes are not suitable to see that kind of body. So we think there is nobody living on sun planet. Or according to us, because for us, like anybody who would be in fire, he would be burned to ashes. So how can somebody live in fire? But if he has a fiery body, if he has the element of fire is much more than other elements, he can easily live in fire. There is no problem. Just like, for example, if we look at the living entities underwater, now we cannot live underwater, but that doesn't mean fishes cannot live underwater. Fishes can easily live underwater. They can breathe, they can eat, they can reproduce, they can sleep underwater, they can do everything. Because in their body, the water element is much more than the other elements. If we have to live underwater, we have to do so much of arrangements, so many arrangements, like either submarine or some kind of suit, some kind of equipments for us to be able to breathe underwater. But fishes can breathe easily; they don't have a problem. but because their body is suited according to that environment. So demigods, they live on the higher planets. Their bodies are suited according to that environment. That's why scientists, when they said they went to moon, first of all, we don't know when they went to moon or not, or or the scientists are sending the spaceships, space rockets to Mars and other planets. They don't find anybody there. Why? Because the instruments that we use, that we design, are based on our eyes, not based on that body that they will have to look at. So that's why we don't see anything, because those bodies are not visible to these instruments. But since they are from higher planets, they can come here and they can see us. They don't have a problem with it. That's why Prabhupada is writing that they descend here. We have observed that demigods from heaven used to visit this earth to attend sacrifices performed by influential kings and emperors. So these are not some made up mythological stories. These are facts. Demigods visit. They can visit. They can come here. Of course, we when we think of aliens or unidentifying flying objects, we call it some different names, and we uh, typically draw aliens like some weird animals, weird creatures, and we think we are the only intelligent species in the whole universe. That's completely nonsense. They are much, much, much more evolved intelligence wise than we can ever be on this planet. Even the Danavs who are on lower, um, below terrestrial planet, even they are technologically much more evolved than we are. But since we have no idea, then the scientists try to speculate and they think, oh, this is what it must be. So the demigods are generally not visible to common men because their body is different and they don't want to be visible, because they are so much beautiful, more healthy, more opulent than human beings on this material planet, on this earthly planet. So, but because of the influence of Maharaj Parikshit, because he was a pure devotee and because he was performing those sacrifices and he had direct mercy of Krishna, demigods agreed to be visible to common men. The kings used to spend lavishly during such sacrifices as a cloud distributes rains. A cloud is nothing but another form of water, or in other words, the waters of earth transform into clouds. Similarly, the charity made by the kings in such sacrifices are but another form of the taxes collected from the citizens. But as the rains fall down very lavishly and appear to be more than necessary, the charity made by such kings also seems to be more than what the citizens need. Satisfied citizens will never organize agitation against a king, and thus there was no need in changing the monarchical state. So the kings used to spend lavishly during such sacrifice and they would give lots of charity, lots and lots of charity. Of course, Prabhupada is saying this charity also, it was part of the taxes that they used to collect. But the kings were not of those ages, of the bygone ages, they were not there just to collect the taxes and enjoy. They used to use it for the welfare work for the public. And here they are using, king is using it to give as a charity to the Brahmins. Even for a king like Maharaj Parikshit, there was need of a spiritual master for guidance. Without such guidance, one cannot make progress in spiritual life. The spiritual master must be bona fide, and one who wants to have self realization must approach and take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. And see, in the verse, it is said that Kripacharya was there to guide him. And who was Kripacharya? Kripacharya participated in the war of Kurukshetra, war of Mahabharat, against the Pandavas because he was uncle of Ashwatthama. He was brother-in-law of Dronacharya. So he had to fight in their favor, on their side. But after the war, look at Yudhishthira Maharaj, he still had Kripacharya being the guru of Parikshit Maharaj. He said, you please guide him. This is high level of confidence in Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Kripacharya also, he guided him properly. There was no animosity. After the war, there was no animosity left. Text 4. Nij graho jasavira kalim digvijay kvachit niriplinge dharam shrudram grantam go mithunam pada. Once when Maharaj Parikshit was on his way to conquer the world, he saw the master of Kali Yuga, who was lower than a Shudra, disguised as a king and hurting the legs of a cow and bull. The king at once caught hold of him to deal sufficient punishment. So here he is going to meet the master of Kali Yuga, or the Kali Yuga personified. The purpose of a king's going out to conquer the world is not for self-aggrandizement. Maharaj Parikshit went out to conquer the world after his ascendance to the throne, but this was not for the purpose of aggression on other states. He was the emperor of the world, and all small states were already under his regime. His purpose in going out was to see how things were going on in terms of the godly state. So he was the emperor of the whole world, not just India, not just Hastinapur. Hastinapur was the capital of the whole world at that time. So he was going out just to see how all the small states are doing under his regime. The king, being the representative of the Lord, has to execute the will of the Lord duly. There is no question of self-aggrandizement. Thus, as soon as Maharaj Parikshit saw that a lower class man in the dress of a king was hurting the legs of a cow and a bull, at once he arrested and punished him. The king cannot tolerate insults to the most important animal, the cow, nor can he tolerate disrespect for the most important man, the Brahman. So that's the duty of a king. He's a representative of God. And for Krishna, it is said, Go Brahman Hitaja, that he is very, very much favorable towards Brahmins and the cows. So king's also duty is to protect the Brahmins and the cows. Human civilization means to advance the cause of Brahminical culture, and to maintain it, cow protection is essential. There is a miracle in milk, for it contains all the necessary vitamins to sustain human physiological conditions for higher achievements. So the milk, actually not just the milk, cow's milk, not just cow's milk, pure cow's milk, desi cow's milk. Because in America we find this Jersey cow, which according to some cow people who keep the cows in India, they say cows in America, they're not even cows. You don't even call them cows. They're just some animals. They're not cows. Because for them, or actually, according to scripture, the cows means a cow with a hump and with a special face, with some horns. So that is called a cow. So cow here in America, they say, oh, there's some animal. It is called some animal, not a cow. So, but why? Because the cow milk, the real cow, the desi cow, the pure cow's milk, it has all the ingredients necessary for a physiological, psychological advancement. Brahminical culture can advance only when man is educated to develop the quality of goodness. And for this, there is a prime necessity of food prepared with milk, fruits, and grains. Maharaj Parikshit was astonished to see that a black Shudra, dressed like a ruler, was mistreating a cow. the most important animal in human society. So Maharaj Parikshit was astonished that this person is trying to kill a cow. And if he was alive today, Maharaj Parikshit, then what he would have seen. Everywhere this thing is going on. And not just going um, on some small scale. Big scale slaughterhouses are being developed, being opened to kill cows every day. Millions and millions of cows get killed all over the world every single day. In India, although cow killing is banned in most of the states now, thanks to BJP, but still there's so much of cow killing goes on that India, you will be surprised to know, India is the number one exporter of leather. So many cows get killed, so many buffaloes and cows, they get killed in India. That is our land of dharma, they say. So that is why, and it is said that for every cow that gets killed, and there are six people who are involved, who are accomplice of the same crime. Those who raise the cattle for this purpose, for slaughter, the one who kills the animal, and this is for like person who wants to eat, one who raises a cattle, one who kills, one who cooks, one who serves, one who eats, and there is one more. One who raises, one who kills, one who sells the meat, one who cooks, one who serves, and one who eats. All these six people, they get the same punishment. It's not just, okay, I don't eat meat, but if I cook and I serve, I will not get the punishment. One will get the punishment. And what's the punishment? For especially for people who are indulging in cow killing. For every hair on cow's body, that many lifetimes he has to suffer in hell. As many hairs on the cow's body. Not even that many years, that many lifetimes. A person has to suffer in hell for the punishment of killing a cow. And still there is this wholesale killing going on. Wholesale. So that is why there are so many wars. What is the reason for war? Reason for war is animal killing, animal slaughter. Because we slaughter animals, then when we go to war, we get slaughtered like animals. And especially for cow killing, that has very severe negative reaction on human beings. Prabhupada used to say, if you want to eat meat, eat some meat of a lower animal, like a goat or a chicken. Do not eat meat of a cow. Never, ever. At least, even if you eat meat of a goat or a chicken, you'll have to suffer for one lifetime. But here you have to suffer, one has to suffer for hundreds and thousands of lifetimes. That's how dear cow is to Krishna. And about Brahman, one who kills a Brahman, one who cheats a Brahman, one who exploits a Brahman, there is no question of him ever getting out of hell, actually. So this is how important cow is for human society. And one who serves the cow, just by serving the cow. It is said all 33 crore demigods reside in the body of a cow. So by serving a cow, one gets to serve all the demigods. But just by massaging the back of the cow, of the real cow, with a hump, it is that one's blood pressure gets normalized. If you just massage her, maybe 5-10 minutes a day, the blood pressure gets normal. In the urine of cow, it has so many medicinal qualities. They're just the urine. No scientist can make that in the lab. In the cow dung, it is said that Lakshmi ji lives in the cow dung. So one who keeps a cow dung at home, one who does a plaster of cow dung at home on the walls or on the floor, because earlier days it used to be on the wall and the floor. There always be that house will be prosperous. It is said. And obviously, if we burn the cow dung, dry cow dung, all the mosquitoes go away. And in fact, if we put some pure cow ghee on the cow dung and then burn it, it releases tremendous amount of oxygen in the air. So all the pollution that we cry about, pollution, pollution, pollution. In Delhi now, the pollution season is about to start. It will go away just by burning cow dung. But of course, the government and the ministers, they don't know anything about it, or they don't want to know about it. They will say, oh, more pollution will happen if you burn the cow dung like that. But it will be the other way around. You can try at home. Just take the pure cow dung, not mix it with buffalo's cow dung, and just burn it at home. You'll see it feels so fresh after it is burnt. Of course, while it is burning, it might burn our eyes because we are not used to it. But after it is burnt, then we'll see so fresh because so much of oxygen is produced by burning cow dung. So that's why Maharaj Parikshit was astonished to see how can somebody hit a cow like that. The age of Kali means mismanagement and quarrel. And the root cause of all mismanagement quarrel is that worthless men with the modes of lower class men who have no higher ambition in life come to the helm of the state management. Such men at the post of a king are sure to first hurt the cow and the Brahminical culture, thereby pushing all society towards hell. Maharaj Parikshit, trained as he was, got the scent of this root cause of all quarrel in the world. Thus, he wanted to stop it in the very beginning. And this is what Prabhupada is saying. People who are worthless or useless, in the modes of lower class of men, they come to be the kings. They come to be the leaders of the kingdom, of the state, of the country, and they openly promote cow killing and losing or hurting the Brahminical culture. So what is going to happen then? It's going to be like they say, all hell will break loose. Well, it's very difficult for people to understand this. It's very difficult. That's why Prabhupada's books and the teachings that Prabhupada has given in these books, they have to be disseminated all over the world. First, we have to understand, we have to imbibe the teachings, and then we have to preach. We have to give this message out to others. And more people get this message, get these books of Prabhupada, their lives will change. We can see from ourselves how our lives have changed since we came in touch with Prabhupada's moment. So other people's lives will also change. So this is what, and Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one who gives this message of mine to others, he is most dear to me. So all we have to do is give out the books of Prabhupada and preach. Give the message of Prabhupada to others. And this will help them in making their lives pure, and this will help us by becoming closer to Krishna. So it's a win-win situation everywhere. So I'll stop here. See anybody has any question or comment.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Raghu Prabhu.
Yeah, I just wanted to share my experience on the wonderful topic you have said about cow.
Yes,
So
sir.
being in the corporate world, doing some what do you call 8 hours or 9 hours job, how we can protect the cow. So I'm sure we cannot make a cow live with us and protect it, but we can indirectly do a lot of things. In fact, we have adopted many what do you call indirect methods. One of them is in our house we use only cow milk. Although it is 90 rupees per liter, we buy that. Work, that is cow urine. We use it like medicine. We take it in the morning. It's available in a filtered form nowadays, 250 rupees liter. Also, we use the tube sticks of cow dung for puja every day. We have stocked the agarbattis and all. We use a lot of floor cleaners, soaps, and dishwashers made out of cow urine and cow dung. So that way, a
That's
lot of in goes towards those goshalas to protect them. That's how, indirectly we can help being in the
that's very good.
urban corporates. Yeah.
In fact, I mean, I'm doing it monthly. We can all adopt a cow in a goshala, and you just give monthly whatever you can
Yes.
give, maybe 500,000 rupees a month to for that specific cow, and they'll really take care of those cows. So
Yes.
Prabhuji,
they,
Prabhuji,
so
Hare
then they
Krishna.
don't have to sell the cow to a slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
So that way also we can help. Yes, Prabhat Prabhu, Haribol.
Vinay here, Prabhuji.
Oh, Vinay Prabhu,
Hare
sorry.
Krishna. Yeah, so Prabhuji, I live in East Delhi, and there is near to my house there is a Goshala.
Okay.
So probably like every Sunday I try to reach to that Gosala, uh, and like I feel really happy when like just feeding. But I have got some ideas from you that at least that's a very good idea to like adopt one cow or give some amount monthly for
Yeah,
the feedings and everything for the welfare
yeah,
of the cow.
yeah.
But so far, I was just going there, feeding breads, brown breads, and all those things there. And even the different species, I mean, what we call nusle of cows were there, and you can take milk from there.
Hmm.
They actually sell in the morning. There are around 50 people are there who are just standing there to get the milk
Hmm.
in the Goshala. And I've seen a lot of people are going there in Goshala and just feeding cows. And probably, I'm not sure, but they're also adopted the cows there.
Yeah,
So,
one can easily do that, and one should do that. Cow is like our mother, is
yes, Prabhuji.
one of the seven mothers.
We'll do it, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhu.
So one more question I had, like if we adopt a cow or if we buy a cow with our money and keep it, engage somebody to take care of it, and by chance he or somebody is not able to manage it well and it dies, still we get the sin, or how is it? That's where I'm afraid. Actually, I want to invest on a Goshala, but I'm skeptical about this aspect.
No, because you are doing it with good intent. At least in Goshala, which is already running, you can
Hmm.
you can adopt, you can pay for that cow. They'll take care of her.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. Sure.
And it's a very good service actually. Krishna definitely loves it. It's good for the environment also. Wherever it is said, wherever the cow is standing without fear and she's just standing, not doing anything, just standing without fear comfortably. And when she releases oxygen, it is said that place becomes very pure, very powerful. That's how important the cow is.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, we'll stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you
Hare
so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.